What's going on, friends? Logan Myerz here for Cinephellas.com. The first TV show I wanted to review in 2020. I'm talking about the brand new series that was just released around Christmas, The Witcher, starring Henry Cavill as Geralt of Rivia. So I want to start off by saying I'm not really familiar with the source material. I know there's the Witcher books. I played the video games a few times a few years back and don't remember much. I remember it was like a fantasy world and, I had a good time with it, but I'm not an overall huge fan, or I'm not familiar with the source material, but I went into the brand new show, Season 1, 8 episodes long on Netflix, The Witcher, really introducing 3 main characters throughout the season. And I want to start off with the main actor in the TV show, Henry Cavill, playing Geralt of Rivia. Oh, he's dreamy. For the setup of the show, he is the Witcher, a monster hunter, killer. People pay him to kill monsters. He shows up early on in the season, showing what he's got, going against some really heavy CGI monsters, cutting them up into pieces, killing them, and then showing how strong and empowering this character is. And I love Henry Cavill. The guy gets a lot of shit. He's been in some shitty movies, not his fault. He's a really great actor. I think it's more the direction and the writing of his characters. Batman vs. Superman, in the DC universe, where they really fucked that up. And Man of Steel is definitely one of my favorite standalone films in the DCU. I really love that movie. I wish they would have done a sequel to that, but sadly, I don't think that's ever going to happen. But I really do love this actor. He was in Mission Impossible 6. Really great action star, and the dude's massive. So with the setup of this character, you see him really taking on creatures. He's a badass fighter. The choreography in this season and with his character is so fucking believable. Like all the action shots of him going against other humans and even against monsters, it's so believable. And you can tell he's doing all his stunts, and he trained for this role. And he's a huge fan of The Witcher, of the books, and the video games. I saw an interview with him not too long ago. So Henry did his research on this character, and he is definitely the best part of this season. The first few episodes, we see Geralt of Rivia kind of going around, getting his money, getting his job done, and that's his 9 to 5. It's killing monsters. A lot of people don't like Witchers. They think they're, evil and things like that because of the white hair. And I will say the Witcher looks like Legolas from Lord of the Rings meets a Targaryen from Game of Thrones, like the white wig and everything. But, at the same time, I really enjoyed the costume design of the Witcher. I thought he looked really cool. But we're introduced to Yennefer's character. She's a deformed, farmhand. She sleeps with pigs. And early on in the season, we see where she's at. She's abused and treated really poorly. She's treated like an animal by her father, and they basically pawn her off to this lady, and it really sets up the rest of the season and what happens to Yennefer's character. And we really see how Yennefer changes from the first episode leading up until the very end. She probably has the best arc in this season for sure. Very interesting character. Somebody that I was rooting for early on, and then kind of in the middle I didn't really like as much, and then at the end I liked her again. So her character definitely changes. And some people will love it or hate it, but I loved it at first, hated it, and then loved it again at the very end. And the actress Anya Chalotra, not sure if that's how you pronounce it, I thought she did a really good job in this role. I'm not familiar with her work, but I thought she really sold this character. The last person they set up in the season is Ciri, played by Freya Allan. I thought she was pretty good. She's essentially a princess, and she has to take off when all these bad things happen to her family. There's not many people left. And her destiny is to meet up with the Witcher. And a few people tell her, you have to leave now, you have to escape from where you live to meet the Witcher, to find the Witcher. So that's her character throughout the entire season, is her trying to find the Witcher. And the Witcher on his quest as well, coming across many monsters and really bad people along the way, of him trying to also find Ciri, and them join together and find out what happens to those characters and what that all means. But what I loved about The Witcher is the acting and all the action, the practical effects they use. And this is a fantasy world with magic and mages and creatures and monsters and witchers, monster hunters, all these different characters in this world that they build in The Witcher. I love fantasy, I love Lord of the Rings, I love Game of Thrones, just really being wrapped up into this weird, unique world, where magic exists, and you have people that have powers and sorcerers. And Yennefer's character really changes kind of through the middle. She looks normal and beautiful, and she becomes a mage, and she's a sorceress, and she has powers, and she really fucks up a lot of things along the way. You can see her character change, everything she's been through from the beginning, leading up to her change and transformation into this otherworldly character. She was mistreated, abused, and this is her revenge story. And if anybody gets in her way, it won't end well for them. So it reminded me much like Daenerys Targaryen in Game of Thrones, how her arc really changes throughout the course of all 8 seasons. In the same way, I thought Yennefer was very empowering, like Daenerys, very powerful, very strong, not afraid of men, not afraid of anybody that gets in her way. So I really loved her character. But there's 3 different characters I'm talking about, different stories in this season. It does get a little muddled towards the middle, different things happening to these different characters at different places, and you're wondering when it's all going to meet up. But the last 3 episodes really kick ass, and they come back and rejuvenate the season for sure. The writing gets a lot better, and there's more action. There's a lot more at stake. But overall, I had a great time with The Witcher on Netflix. Season 1, Henry Cavill kicked ass as Geralt of Rivia. I thought he was really a badass character. Everything he brought to this character, he went to some really dark places. He brought in some comedy, and the action sequences are top notch. And I couldn't imagine anybody else playing this character. So I'm really excited to see what Henry Cavill does in the upcoming seasons of The Witcher and what's going to happen to him exactly, and will he survive. I also love Yennefer's character in this season from the beginning to the end, her starting as a farmhand that's deformed, and she transforms into this beautiful, magical, powerful woman, and seeing how everything changes for her and her relationship with Geralt, and how it all ends at the very end of the first season. And I thought Ciri's character was okay in this season. She was kind of put on the back burner. She showed up along the way here and there in the episodes. I guess I really didn't understand the character of Ciri, why she had to meet up with the Witcher, what it all means, and leading up until the end of them finally meeting up. Maybe it will make more sense next season. I just felt like she didn't have a lot to do. Besides that, I thought the set design, costume design, the practical effects they use in this are really top notch. Some of the CGI is a little spotty. Some of the monsters they created didn't look as good. They looked like half done. But the practical effects side of things, they did use a lot of that. I thought that looked really beautiful. And I thought the overall world they built for The Witcher, it looked beautiful. It reminded me much of, Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings, a lot of fantasy shows and things like that. And I thought it just looked really awesome, and it really kept me invested and really interested what's going to happen to these characters. And for the most part, every episode was pretty solid. Only a few in the middle that kind of lost me there for a minute or so, but it really came back at the end. And The Witcher is a show you guys definitely have to check out if you've not seen it. If you're not familiar with the source material, definitely check this out. It's on Netflix right now. It's a really captivating and interesting show. I think you guys will love the world they build and all the characters in The Witcher. It's only 8 episodes on Netflix, currently streaming now, so definitely go check it out if you've not seen it. So I'm going to give the first season of The Witcher a 4 out of 5 Henry Cavill hair pieces. So what did you guys think of the first season of The Witcher? What did you like about it? What didn't you like about it? Are you guys fans of the books and the video games? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit subscribe. This is Logan Myerz signing out with Geralt of Rivia. Oh, he's in the bathtub. Ooh. Until the next video review. Cheers!